This is one Carlos Yulo on the parallel bar finals. Good hold on the one rail handstand. This is just the video from Rappler. And thank you very much, Rappler, for the video. That's a good transition. He got 14.850 score here. Due to some adjustment and flickers in the handstand, he might be suffering for some of the muscle fatigue. That's a good transition, beautifully done. Feet are glued together. Oops, that's the bending of the elbow that cost him 0.1 deductions. That's why he got 14.850 score. That's a good L-sit hold. That is the good handstand. Transition is good also. But that are some hesitation flickers in the handstand. And also some flickers also. Cost him some deductions. Great job for this mount. A little bit of hoop. 0.1 deduction for this mount. Congratulations, Carlos Yulo, for gold medal. The men's parallel bar finals in the SEAGames Cambodia 2023 or 32nd SEAGames Cambodia 2023. The gymnasts are having the 6 minutes warm up, and on warm up now is Carlos Yulo preparing the P-bar with chalk for him not to slip side of his hands para maging maganda ang mga grips. Wala si Coach Mooney dito, hindi ko alam kung bakit. Siguro, I hope okay lang si Coach Mooney. The only challenge for Carlos Yulo, he's having some problems, some issues with one rail handstand especially during the All Japan 2022. He got problem in the one rail handstand. He got also some issues in the one rail handstand during the World Cup Doha. But he perfected it during the World Cup Baku, Azerbaijan, and he learned from those mistakes. Remember that 2 weeks ago, Carlos Yulo joined the World Cup, the All Japan. And he has been competing a lot on the international and world stage for these seasons. And it really helped him to be well practiced, to have the confidence in competitions. The first to compete is Thailand, then Philippines, Singapore, the third to compete. We now have the man from Thailand in the parallel bar. That's a good hold in the handstand. And to handstand. That's a little bit hesitation in the handstand, deduction, and bending of the legs. It will cost him deduction. Adjustment, bending of the elbow will cost him deductions again. Some waffles. That's a good adjustment of the hands will cost him deductions again, but that's a good execution. Oh, he sees on the floor 1 whole point deductions in the dismount. He is already out of the podium of this, but he did well. Congratulations, Thailand, for your display. We now have Carlos Yulo on parallel bar. Carlos Yulo is 6.3, is having a difficulty of 6.3 in the qualifications. He got an execution score of 8.650 with 14.950 total score. Thailand. Let's review his score. He got a 4.8 difficulty in the qualifications with 10.75 scores during the qualifications, and I think he will have the same score. He got a lot of deductions in this finals and 1 whole point deductions during the dismount. Thailand is a good contender for parallel bar, but he will need to improve more, practice well more, compete more, perhaps for the World Cup Series and Asian Championship, because those are an open games for all nations, for him to practice his confidence. He's a good gymnast, but needs to practice more of the confidence, mental preparedness, mental toughness in the big stage competitions. Actually, in this Cambodia, they do not have a large crowd, and I can say that the attention here is not that much in comparison to the World Cup Series and World Championship and Continental Championship in Europe and Americas. This is a good stage, but I hope our gymnasts from Southeast Asia will compete more on the World Cup Series for them to develop their confidence. Yulo, the top performer in the qualifications with 6.3 difficulty score and execution score of 8.650. Now the question now here is whether he will be consistent in performing his well and great beautiful executions. For his dismount in the one rail handstand, Yulo of the Philippines. Come on, bro, hold it. That is a good hold for one rail handstand, beautifully done. A good transition to the handstand. Toes are well pointed, legs are glued together. A good transition, taking his time. A good hold. That is beautifully done. He got an issue with bending of the elbow last year. That is a great transition for the handstand. One adjustment. Ups on, that is bending. He will have 0.3 deductions for that. We will be having a lower score here. That is a good transition. I think Yulo is having a muscle fatigue here now. That is a good job for the handstand. Great job. Beautifully done. He has a good form. Great dismount. High level of chest. We now have the man from execution scores are down here for Yulo due to their bending of the elbows and also hand adjustment. We now have the man from Singapore. That is a good execution for the handstand, and transition is good. Beautifully done. Small. Oh, that is not a good handstand. He did not hold it well. And flickers. It will be deductions. Oh, that is stepping backward 2 steps, and the second step has an amount. It will have a good deductions. The difficulty is low also. We now have the second half of the contenders. We now have here from Malaysia, I believe, and Vietnam. The second best in qualification is Vietnam, Phuonh, Dinh. Phuonh, Dinh. 14.850 is the total score of Carlos Yulo. Deductions due to the bending of the elbow. Phuonh Dinh from Vietnam, the second best in qualifications. We have Malaysia also, the third best in qualification. The last two contenders for parallel bar, we have Vietnam and Malaysia. Last year, parallel bars of Vietnam, he wasn't deducted on his executions. We now have here Malaysia, the third best in qualifications with 5.0 difficulty. Total score of 13.2 during the qualification. That's a good mounting. L seat. Into the handstand. Good start. Oops. That is a hesitation. 0.1 deductions. Good flight. And to his handstand. Beautifully done. Oops. Hand adjustment. 3 steps in the hand adjustment. 0.3 deductions. Good transitions in his handstands. Oops, and that is not a good handstand deduction for his executions there and for his dismount. There will be a deduction for stepping backward. The defending champion for parallel bar last year, Dinh Phuonh. Vietnam, the second in best in qualifications with 5.8 difficulty, 8.750 his executions, 14.550 total score in the qualifications. He has a good executions. 5.8, 8.7 executions, 8.750 in executions for Vietnam during the qualifications. We now have Vietnam. $14.850 for Carlos Yulo. That's a good mounting, great transitions, hesitations in the handstand. It's not smooth, deductions for that. That is a good transitions. Nice hold, beautifully done. Toes are well pointed, legs are glued together, but that is a flicker. It will be deductions for that. Good handstand. It's a great handstand, but that is a adjustment in the hand, opening of the hands. Great job for Vietnam. Oops, adjustment will be 0.1 deductions in flickers also. Hesitations on the handstands. There is also a bending and some flickers. Great job for parallel bars for Vietnam. Double pike during his landing. This must be a gold medal for Carlos Yulo in the parallel bar. Those are coaches from the Philippines and Carlos Yulo waiting for his gold podium. Carlos Yulo, as you can see here, there are a lot of he may be suffered from some muscle fatigue due to the yesterday's competition. Waiting for the Vietnam score. 14.850 for Carlos Yulo's score. And for Vietnam, the total score is 14.400. 14.400 score for Vietnam. This is a good score for Vietnam due to the deductions in his execution score. Great job for Carlos Yulo for the gold medal position in the parallel bar in SEAGames 32. Congratulations, Carlos Yulo. Mabuhay ka. Please. He has been being interviewed by the media in the Cambodia. The last. Okay. Thank you very much for watching for the men's parallel bar finals, and we have now hit the horizontal bar finals for Juancho Miguel Bisanya.